I'm good. You want to speak?
Yes, indeed. Great to see you, man. It's always good to see you. I can go to my board on Friday. How you doing tonight? Good to see you.
How you doing?
We got a freezer and refrigerator full. We got fingers.
You out there listening?
No, 2 weekends ago, we went down to South City. Right there.
I did Will 7 days a week.
We just rode through the woods until we come up on the old ball. This weekend, we actually supposed to go over to Lowe's. Yeah, they're having some kind of private tournament over there. I think raise money.
Came from Mountain on the 14 though.
Really. You know, they got them boys down there. They holding on.
Look, them girls were good.
Really. Hey, how y'all doing? How you doing? I'm sorry.
Good evening. Good evening. Hope everyone had a great day. The good Lord brought us some cool weather. Yes. A little rain, a little cool weather. I tell you what, He's always looking out for us. Yes, man, when we can't take care of ourselves, He will do it. Now the thing is, they say, oh, it ain't supposed to be like this. What do you want? You say you're hot, you say you. But anyway, it's all good. Glad everybody's here. I tell you what, I'm going off script, but 2 of our summer workers just showed up. All right. Come on up here. Steve, where you say you want to go to school at now?
North Carolina A&T University.
All right. You here? North Carolina A&T University.
Probably UNC Charlotte or UNC Pembroke or Top on your
great. Our young people, we put them to work and they've already had some decisions where they're going. That's a good thing. Before I open the meeting, Sister Bennett, would you prepare yourself to lead us in the invocation, please?
Most gracious Lord God, Father, we come today just giving you glory and giving you honor. We want to thank you for this day, God, a day that we have never seen today. Father, we ask you to be in the midst of our meeting of today. Help us, God, to do what is right and pleasing in your sight. Give us ideas and understanding, God. Put us all on one accord, Father. Father, we lift up your name on high, God. God, we love you, we glorify you, and you magnify you. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. Amen.
We have, a new agenda, and, we need a motion to approve the set agenda.
So moved.
All in favor? The consent agenda items, you see the approval of the minutes, approval of the rescinded project amendment, and approval of emergency management statewide mutual agreement. Need a motion.
Why are we rescinding again? Can I be reminded again?
I asked for that one.
Okay.
For the reason I did is because we put the tax up on the citizens.
That's something here, I
That we're saying.
think.
Okay.
Rescind on 62, 68, and 83, the transfers, is that what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Part of the audit, was to, close out 3 of the projects and move the funds. And I, through my lack of experience here, thought that I had to do a budget amendment, and I did not. Danielle let me know, so she told me to rescind them.
That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then the emergency management statewide mutual aid agreement, have we discussed that yet? What is, can we have a little more elaboration on what that entails and our obligation to it?
So this is a agreement that every municipality in the state has to agree with in reference to emergency management. And Scott, you can probably chime in a little bit more, but so this is, we're agreeing to be a part of the agreement with EMS services. Is that right, Scott?
Mayor, council, what it is anytime natural disasters, whatever, fire departments, police departments, emergency medical services are always asked to help regardless of wherever it may be in the state of North Carolina. What this is, it gives us on that statewide plan. So that we have that agreement in hand, so we'll sign it, or somebody, from here will sign it, we'll give it to our emergency management director, and then from there it goes to Raleigh for them to, add it to their list of signatures, and then once it's executed, we'll get a copy of it.
People helping people. in other
Yes, sir.
words. Yes, sir, that's what I want to hear. Thank you.
While we're on that, Chief, it saddens my heart, not directly to you, okay, that we had extreme hot weather last week. We had no plan for where we could go cool off the elderly people. That it was hot, we had surrounding places they could go and cool off or any of that. So that, now that we're in this, maybe if we get extremely hot weather that people can go, like when it's cold, you lose power as a game plan. But I think we need to look at a game plan for when it gets extreme, a long period of time, that, the elderly can, go somewhere and get cooled off. That's just my 2 cents. Okay. Not putting it on, just my 2 cents.
Everything here is cooler, full of water out there.
Now we're down to 4. Do we have anybody for public comment?
No, I didn't hear nobody please consider it.
Oh, need approval for the consent agenda.
So moved.
All in favor? Thank you.
Thank you for the explanations to it.
Public comments. Anybody sign up for public comments?
Yeah, I have John Lyles.
Listen, I don't know, Mr. Manager, I don't have Facebook. I think you, got a grant approved, correct? Congratulations, I think you the first time manager. Got it. 9.5?
Yes, sir.
That's a good thing. You know, everybody said bad thing, but they don't tell you about the good thing you did. But I'm here saying thank you, and all other people said thank you. You know what I'm saying? Number two, I got, on 1305 7th Street, there's some property over there, I've been asking about, see if you can get it clean. You know, I got these diggers over there, raccoons, boxes, I done seen all. I don't want to have to shoot none, because they mess my little dogs, I'm gonna shoot them, I'm gonna be straight forward. So, when the law comes, I'm gonna tell them the same thing. It's been reported, they jumped the fence. Give them my property.
Is this 1305 Central Street?
Yes, sir.
It's high grass or is just?
It's just wood area.
Okay.
Come out there about 10:30 at night, you can get all the deals you want. They be in my yard, they jump the fence, and everything.
We'll get the public service to take a look at that, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
but, you know, I hope the people wake up from this kind of once. When good things happen, say something good. You know, but they don't wanna say nothing good, they wanna say all negative stuff. Okay? And I don't think that, y'all can look it up, I don't think downtown manager got no grant for the town. I can go back and dig up some stuff they didn't do, but that's in the past. But, keep going, Joe. You know, some people might say, I need to sit down and shut up. Hey, that don't bother me. But when you did something good, I'm gonna tell you. You know, that's the main thing. Keep going.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all.
Down here, the old business, discuss and consider the approval of amending the approved 25-26 fee scheduling change. Reconnect fee from 75 back to 50, copy of the budget book from 50 to no fees, and copy of the annual finance report from 75 to no fees. Guys, I talked to Mr. Ross, talked to some of you about this. I took the liberty and called some surrounding counties about this, and they all had different processes, but I felt like that we needed to go back to what we were doing is $50. If you get cut off, you know, there's a reason you get cut off. So if you get cut off from 50 to 75, well, if you don't have any money to pay that, how you gonna pay that? You know, that's, can go either way to council. I just ask that you look at that.
I brought it up to Mr. Ross also, I was concerned about it, and I thought we should take it back to where it was at. I apologize for the oversight on my part. And Mr. Ross told me, he said that the benefits of it is that it's just more money to go into our asset, but he said it's not something that it's gonna be a nice revenue, but he said the money would be nice to have, but you don't want to put no more due pressure on the facility. So I want to take it back.
Do we need a motion to reset the fee to 50 from 75?
Yes.
If we do, then I make that motion.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Pass unanimous. All right, discuss and consider the approval of contract service with Central Liner to administer grant application for 850K streetscape project.
Mayor and members of council, this is the agreement with Central Liner Regional Council of Governments. They will administer the grant and also do the application process for the grant. And along with that is an amended resolution for application for the grant as well. There were some additional costs that we were made aware of today in the meeting with Central Liner, that there was a 5% requirement for the town to give the grant, but then there were some other services that came to light today, and it's all in reference to engineering services. That's the second. Should have a.
Is that the new handout you said?
Yes, sir.
Because I was looking at this with the 5,500 and then.
Yes.
There would be other things that would aggregate into that.
Yes, sir.
that
So,
exceeded.
if you look at your project cost, is this statement here?
Is that new here now?
Yes.
Hold on, I'm over just in one of those days. Okay.
So, the grant will not cover the technical services surveying and also the technical services inspection done by the engineering firm that we have contracted. So that's why the cost, if you look at your resolution, the cost went from $42,000 to the $62,000.
What all streets, corridors does this include? Because the demolition of existing infrastructure looks mighty slim.
It's going Wade Street to Wade Street to Green to Rutherford.
Rutherford is included.
It's going from Lake Street, to Green Street, down Green Street, onto Martin Street, toward Rutherford.
There you go.
That's where everything's going.
So Rutherford is not included.
It is included.
Yeah,
But
that's,
it's just for, some streets will get sidewalks and some will get the streetscape with the plants, and we're not gonna mess up a lot of the stuff on Wade Street. Like some folks, citizens concerned about the bricks that were dedicated, we're gonna keep those, right?
Oh, yeah.
And repurpose those. But every street will not get a new sidewalk, some will, but some will not. So it's-
explain repurpose those bricks.
The engineering firm can come up with a way that we will have those bricks dedicated where where you'll be able to see them, on Wade Street. Maybe not in the ground, but maybe a display that displays the folks who dedicated those bricks.
The only issue with that is that a lot of people who order those bricks, they're generational, and they pay for them to be put in those spaces, because those are significant places in their family history, the history of the town of their place. And so that would be my only drawback with that, is that we're reneging on the promise that we gave when we sold those bricks to those families. And some people have already bought bricks in advance, they just have not put them down.
Yeah, the bricks are not going away. They're just being repurposed and moved at different locations, because you're gonna have a new, fresh look. And this, quite frankly, the streetscape there now is kind of outdated, right? And we're gonna beautify that in the uptown area.
I just foresee an outcry of families and people who have purposely said, I want my brick in front of the courthouse, I want my brick here, and they were agreed to do that, and the town actually installed them on good faith with that. Now that, I'm just saying, that's what I foresee.
Understandable. We're not messing the bricks in front of the courthouse, it's strictly just on Wade Street, but we can give it the engineering firm, and if that's a sticking point, we will definitely address that, for sure.
Some renderings might be nice.
Yeah, but you just want that, these will give us some insight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Some renderings. Do you have any idea of how much more is going to be over and beyond the 5,500? What is it?
We originally stated 43.5, it's gonna be an additional 20,000.
So we're gonna pay 62,000 to administrate this grant? Is that what this is?
No, sir, there's,
The local match?
there's two expenses that just is not covered by the grant, and then the 43,000 is to administer the grant. Administer the grant, manage it.
I'd rather have these figures early, look over them a little more than just 5 minutes before the meeting. I'm
Well,
sorry.
we only had the meeting at 12 o'clock.
We should have, maybe commuted it to the next meeting.
Well, time is of the essence, sir. The grant application has to be in by August 21st. I came to council 2 or 3 months ahead of time about this grant. It's $850,000. I'm sorry?
The 43.5.
Yeah, the 45 was already approved, but back in April, I believe, or May. I think it
Right,
was.
that part, but
Yeah.
we've got an
So,
extra what?
After $19,000, but you're getting $850,000
Don't see that.
for a to redo uptown, right? almost $1 million is what we're getting, and this is the cost of the town that we would have to, come up with.
But they've not rendered any site plans or anything, or any graphics of what this is gonna look like after we do this. Is there anything, any streetscape, any design plan?
There's some plans available, they're still in the early stages though, but again, this is the due diligence you have to do before you get the grant.
I don't feel comfortable putting money in a place where we're buying something that we haven't seen, and rendering public feedback or anything like that. Now, that's just my 2 cents, due diligence. I would like to see what the plan is, especially with the bricks and what we're gonna see. We broached this subject before in the past, within the last 5 years. And, yeah, it will take extensive tearing up of Uptown to, pull up these trees that are already there, because we've already been told that there's nothing that would replace them if we pulled up the log top trees, we were gonna call them. I would just like to see something. And every, project like this I've ever sat on, be it Parks and Indian Trail or whatever, we see something. We see something up front of what it's gonna look like, even if it changes as it evolves. And here we're just seeing papers and figures, and I don't think that's good business.
Yeah, so you hear the initial stages of the project, you will see, drawings, in full-scale drawings of what it would look like, once they get further along. So this is, again, the beginning of the project. Just
And if we get awarded the grant and it's decided that nobody wants to do it, I suppose we can turn it down, right?
Absolutely. It's you know, it's a state
Why
grant.
put all that in there, though? I mean, turn around and do that, see it up front. I mean, that's, I'm not gonna do her.
You wanna look at.
Yeah, I'm a visual person.
The town will have to pay that $60,000 or so in order to get the $800 and some odd thousand dollars.
If we're approved for the grant, that's correct. If you're approved for the $850,000, the town will have to come up with $62,000. And
There's always a match for a grant, because
Correct,
people
exactly.
want to understand that you're all in and that you can afford to put up the difference of what they're giving you.
you need a motion to approve. This would be, definitely, a great thing for the town of Wadesboro. It would change the way the uptown looks. The way it looks right now is like early 1990s, if you will, and that's putting it lightly. So it'd be great for the town.
I'm all for refreshing, I'm getting ready to open a business up there,
So
I'd just like to
we're
see something.
I'm sorry?
Going forward.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Need a motion.
I make a motion to approve the grant process.
Second.
All in favor?
No.
4-1. Down to new business.
I'm just gonna stand here, it would
Yeah.
be easier for me.
So Mayor, under, number 7, new business, A through D is gonna be handled by Mrs. Mason. You can read each one individually, and she'll address it.
Discuss and consider approval of operating budget general fund amendment. This is going to add $377,216 to our fund balance allocation. Bringing the allocation, the fund balance allocation to $572,737. I would say 99% of these increases to the department, $8,823 to administration, $232,611 to police, $1966 to garage, $63,517 to streets, and $72.99 to sanitation. It is to increase staffing. We are adding, from what we budgeted, we are adding 3 police, 1 to the street department, 1 to the sanitation department, 2 to the water department, and 1 to the sewer department. And that is to cover salary, fringe, a part of the admin increase is we approved $20,000 for the interns. and it got budgeted in contracted services, and I moved it to salary and benefits. And an increase in, price of insurance, that was.
One question, with moving that out of fund balance, I mean, taking fund balance, what will be left in fund balance?
Well, I mean, we're still doing the audit, but based on last year, we had, I think, 3.5 million. So it would down to about 3.
State only, the state, we still are gonna meet what the state.
Way over what the state wants.
So we're in good shape, as I thought, that the state only allows us to have X amount and we still succeed over
Yes, sir.
that. Okay,
And this is,
okay.
critical staffing needs.
We're good. There, if you listen, there's been a huge outcry for staffing, and we have to do what we have to do to keep it going and, all those type of things. So, thank you for that. There, council, do you have anything on these things?
Do you want to approve them one at a time?
A and B.
Okay.
From all together, can we do it?
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Just read A through.
okay.
Eight,
Okay, so the second amendment is for, water sewer. I increased, the revenue to go more in line with, last year. Increased the revenue, increased the penalty, the late penalty, to be more in line with last year, and the tap and connection fees more into line with last year for revenue. And for expenses, it is the direct result of the positions that we're adding. And we've added funding for travel and training. Our new director in public works is adamant on increasing our staff training, so we added money for that. And then I did end up decreasing the water purchases because I definitely overestimated that. And that does include, the new figure does include a 12% increase that the county, you know, put
the
on.
county is still that on us, but make it very clear, we did not put that on our
We
citizens.
did not put that on the citizens.
Want to make sure that is out there, that, you know, I get all the time about calls about the water bill and this and that. I get it, we fight, but this 12% that the county gave us, we just, as a board, we just took the hit. We're gonna move on. Thank you.
The next budget amendment, back in May, we added, I put forth an amendment for the general fund to take $70,000 out, and it was approved to put it to the splash pad. That was for repairs to the bathroom, the painting, and then prep, open bushes and beautification kind of stuff. Anyway, I didn't do it for the splash pad. I wasn't thinking. It's supposed to be both ends. I only did operating, this is for the splash pad, so that's all this is. This is the second half of what I should have done in May. I apologize. What else?
You approved the fencing last time, didn't you?
Right, and the fencing was also in there, sir.
And the
Bathroom
construction, I
and
guess I missed that in May, that's what you're saying is
Yes, sir.
beautification, correct?
Yes, sir.
Tell them. Thank you.
You're welcome. And D is, consider approval of professional service engagement with DM JPS CPA for overseeing the preparation of the financial statements from J.B. Watson. DMJPS is formerly known as Potter and Company. This is something we're required to do because of grants and because J.B. Watson does some bookkeeping, some light bookkeeping for us. So this is something we did last year, and we're asking for approval for that for this year.
Can we lump all of these into, if there are no other questions?
Yeah.
Can we lump them all into one motion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do, are you finished?
You can go to F as well.
You want to do E and then I'll do F?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
E is to discuss, consider approval of a resolution for local water and supply plan. Every municipality in the state that offers to provide public water must provide a plan through DEQ, and that's what this is.
And that's E.
That's it, correct.
Yes, fine.
And then F is discussing or consider approval of professional engagement letter with GWI Tax and Accounting. That is, GWI is Greg Isley, and their accountant on staff handles the debt book software system. We don't have it, they do. And it is for,
This for the fleet, for the depreciation for fleet or something?
yes, sir, it's for leases.
Yeah, because it's highly specialized and they don't do it at J.B. Watson at Armada.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And we certainly don't have the
Exactly.
software. Yes, so that is an engagement for, we understand the maximum billing under this contract is $1,500, therefore they will cease work on this contract if billing goes over.
Yes,
I don't think we had a problem last year, so.
No, this is highly specialized. The fleet that we're leasing, it's really hard to appreciate how these people specialize in that. Yes, ma'am, thank you.
You're welcome. And that's it for me until K.
Guys, you need a motion to approve A through F. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
Business going.
All right, let's go down to G. Discuss and consider approval contract to service between the Management Solutions for Emergency Service and the Wastewater Fire Department.
Mayor, council, what this contract is, since 2010 and 2011, we've been using the same records management software we refer to as RMS. They are going out of business. The federal government is changing our reporting criteria from what is known as NIFRS reporting to NARIS reporting. Because of that major change, the company that we're with is not going to follow through and upgrade their system to comply. And so therefore, we had to look for a completely new records management system, and that's what this contract is for.
And the old stuff, I'm sorry.
You feel comfortable with it?
Yes, sir. I'm not gonna tell you a story. We've looked at, I've got the file right here of about 6 or 7 different companies. We've done our due diligence. We talked to our neighbors and our friends that are in the fire service, saying, who y'all using? Give me some feedback. And it's like anything, especially vehicles. Everybody's got an opinion. This company come up, they say they can do some stuff, so we're gonna give them an opportunity. It kind of fits our budget, so that's one thing that we're also looking at. So I think it's gonna be a good thing for us.
Here is the company that's going out of business, the records and all that, how will they be managed?
So this new company says that they can pull all of our data out of that and put it into this new system. What I've been told, irregardless if that can happen or not, is when we tell merge reporting that we are leaving them, they will give us what is called a backpack file, and it'll have all of our data in that. And then we may have to get with our IT folks to get them to kind of decipher some of that information, because that's kind of getting a little over my head there. But they're saying we can have all of our data.
Good.
So,
You do feel comfortable?
yes, ma'am, I do. Yes, ma'am.
Need a motion?
Yes, please.
So moved.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Thank you.
H, Discuss and consider approval of contractor service with Hugh James for zoning services.
Yeah, Mayor Member Council, Mr. James has kindly offered his services. He did for so many years here in town. Very knowledgeable about the zoning process and the planning process. We had several offers, $2,000 or $3,000 a month to do this service. So he has agreed to do it for the listed amount, $750.
$750.
Yes, it will come out of contractor service.
So moved. Let us know about this town we move on.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and approve of contracted service with H&S Pavement LLC. Before, we had a list of streets, it's been a while, about 6 years ago. We had to find a list of, streets that were to be paved. Before this council here, last we had said streets that were to be paved. Did you ever see?
I have not seen that list, but my phone blows up daily in reference to the streets that need to be paved in this town. And this is one of the streets that I went over about 2 weeks ago and spoke with 3 of the neighbors on Montgomery Street. Very upset, very irate, saying that it has been neglected for years. And they wanted the whole street repaved. We can't do that, it's very costly. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna patch the most, area that needs to be, taken care of, and we're gonna do that. The one bid was $143,000 to do the whole street, second one was $106,000, and this is to patch it for $26,000.
To patch it for 26.
Yes, sir.
Um,
And it's coming out of the Powell bill money as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just as a matter of course, as we move through, we do need to get an inventory of our roads. And put them on a rolling schedule to be maintained. A lot of them have failed, they're right down into the dirt in neighborhoods, so, yeah.
That is absolutely on my list to do, sir. You're absolutely correct. The streets are deteriorated, and they need to be addressed.
Yes, sir.
What, but, I know people listen, if I'm not mistaken, last power bill on Mr. James is not here, I want to be correct, but I think we may have went out and done City Pond, that road out there that was so bad. You can drive out there, City Pond now, it's a smooth way. It used to be. So I think we've done that with that power bill money. So that was a thing that, people are using it. And so we felt like that should have been done, and we got it done. I would say that if we look at it as we go around, write the streets down, as you travel and you meet your constituents and all of that, just write the street down. When we look at, I think last meeting, we talked about Wade Mill, some bad streets up there, Wade Mill. So I think, Mr. Manager, if it's that bad, we're spending 26 out of whatever we have to, if we can do that, look at those areas up there, possible, Mr. Manager, they are down to the back, so, council. But as you ride through,
Willow Street is really bad too.
who,
Willow Street.
Willow,
Willow.
Willow.
W-H-E-L, it's really bad.
What is it, Willow?
Willow. It's over by Sykes, off of Sykes.
Yeah, I know Councilmember Parson emailed me as well with some streets that need to be, looked at. And Mr. Long's absolutely correct. We're gonna get together a list of the streets, and we're gonna prioritize those streets in terms of the conditions they are in, and try to address them that way.
And please, they need the most.
There are services that will come, and there are services that will come to the town, I don't know how much they are anymore, but they will go around and professionally evaluate every road down to the bed and give you a rolling inventory of, and I mean, basically, they're just sticking something in it to see if it'll break. But just to see what the old composite was, what they would suggest you replacing it with in the next few years, and they will rate your streets, I think, from, it's either 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, with 1 being, just totally failing. We also, I think,
The state does this, sir?
huh?
The state does that?
There's a service that does, I don't think the state does, I think it's a private thing. If it was the state, we'd have them out here yesterday, definitely. But I can probably get the name of a couple of them for us. Another thing we need to look at with Powellville is maybe some of our sidewalks, the condition of them. People are constantly tripping. I know that some of them have ruptured. The old trees are knocking they're like this. Even if they're sanded down to give it more of a grade, some people with mobility issues can't get over those. And so we might want to look at that, our uptown and other sidewalks in the town. Some of them have been so neglected that nature is reclaiming them.
Ms. Russell, you was talking about, the short staff, and y'all was in the process of trying to hire. Remember what that was about?
Oh, yes, so the challenges in small towns is staffing, right? And so we've addressed that, and we are almost fully staffed in every department, I believe, at this point. So we will be able to start to address some of these issues. Again, this is one of the things when I first got here, I certainly realized that staffing was an issue, right? And as a matter of fact, we're conducting a conversation study as well, right? Will be done in the next month or so. So we are addressing the issues. We hear concerns. I get the phone calls. I'm addressing them, certainly taking it seriously, and I appreciate the input.
We need a motion on that to approve H&S?
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Discuss and consider approval of contracted service with Kingdom Warrior Construction LLC for building repairs to the town hall.
Yeah, Mayor and members of council, so when I got here, I did an assessment of facilities and fleet, right? And then what we found was that our facilities were failing. They're in poor condition, and we started to address that. So we started at the town shop. I had that painted. The conditions were deplorable. I've got pictures from last year when I got here. We cleaned all that up. We painted the gas tanks. In the next project, and I waited to use this year's funding, is the town hall. The town hall is absolutely, it's in bad condition, right? Former gas station, former bus station, from my understanding, it's in poor condition. The roof was replaced, then it was leaking like several months ago. We had to fix that, and now you have issues around the roof. So the soffit it's destroyed. It's in bad condition. So we have to address this. We don't have the funding to address a CIP for a town hall and other needs that we're going to address here in a little bit. So to repair, we need to make it operable for you, the citizens, for your paid taxes, right? And then also for our staff to work here, right? So this is what this does, and we're trying to make sure that we have a nice place for the citizens to come, pay your water bill, and for our employees to work as well. So that's what this is. We've gotten some contracts. I think Scott, we had a couple. We reached out to a couple folks in reference to the town hall.
That is correct.
Yeah, and they did not respond, correct?
No, sir, it did not. The only one that brought forth a bid was the Kingdom Warrior Construction.
So we can afford this?
Yes, sir. Just coming out of our professional services and contracts.
And then I'll make the motion.
I said, because I think what Joy D said
It's,
was
you know, one thing I do ask though, in that building, is at some point in time, address that step off.
Yes.
Inside.
Inside the building, that is a step plunge.
It's dangerous.
Even if we put in a.
And you're absolutely right. Thank you for mentioning that. So that's a concern as well as inside the building. We're grandfathered in, but we're definitely not ADA compliant, right? Because when you go through the building, you got to turn sideways to get to the hallway.
Yeah.
That's how small the hallway is, right? So we're doing what we can to make the building operable in its current condition. But we will address that.
I think we need to do some work too, because you got employees in there, it needs to be presentable.
Well, we painted the interior. We're looking at carpet or doing something to the floors. That's not a dire need right now. We can wait on that. And then, so, and we got a bid for the, electrical. In my office, the lights blink on and off. It hurts your eyes when you come to the office. And then you have, the window, is broken. I can't lock it. It's broke. It's a painting window, been there forever. So we gotta address these things, right? We gotta make these things operable and usable. And that's what this is, that's what we're gonna do with this.
Safety issues too.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're also looking at, we're looking at, security for the building, right? Looking at some cameras and some other things to make the building more secure, right? And so we'll be coming back to council for that as well, here in the next month or so. But this is the first start of trying to get our facilities under control, as well as our fleet, right? You haven't addressed this, not this council, not throwing stones at other councils, but the fact of the matter is, it wasn't addressed. So guess what? We're gonna address it.
We piecemeal.
That's correct.
We need a
I make a
motion.
motion, he be allowed to fix it, to do what he needs to do, to get it up to standard.
Well, that's what he's doing.
Yeah,
So he brings it to us and we approve it.
We need a motion to
Make
approve.
a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, yeah, we did, yeah, we voted it.
Discuss and consider approving contracting services with Ross Interior Restoration, exterior restoration for painting the exterior of the town hall.
Yeah, so in order to, we gotta fix the roofing issue first before we can paint it, right? And that's what this is. This was the lowest bid for the painting. So we wanted to fix the roof issue first, and then we'll paint the building. He started to sandblast it. He did that as part of his contract we have for the parking lot. We did that, but it is, like I said, peeling paint. The downspouts are leaking. It's we need to address it.
So moved.
Mr. Water, do that include painting the outside too?
Yeah.
Yeah, we extended the exterior.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you.
they would. Second.
All in favor? Pass unanimously. L, discuss the fleet status.
So before she begins,
Here comes the fun.
yeah, so our fleet is absolute dominion. It's not aging, it's aged out, right? Because again, prior management did not address it. We have to address it. And not only for the town in using taxpayers' dollars fiscally responsible doing that, right? But safety of our employees, the people that they're riding in, right? So we have to address it. So I'll let Mr. Mason, take from there. You have a list of the vehicles.
Yeah,
If I have that.
and the
They
rotation,
have this?
yeah, this and the rotation, the list of vehicles, their age, miles, and
Yeah.
the list of rotation, yeah. Sure.
So Chief put this together for us, which was very much appreciated. I did not have fun doing this because the end result, as you can see, is $1.3 million. And that is just to handle what has to be fixed yesterday. So this is obviously something that we cannot pay for. We would have to take out a loan. So I gave you a loan amortization schedule. I gave you 3 scenarios. So to borrow $1,276,000, and there's a little bit of a cushion in there. Whatever we have left over, we can dump on the loan, but there was no figuring for, getting the vehicle ready with the lights and the signage and all of that.
Excuse me.
So
Which
for,
amortization?
we're moving
The
away
top one, sir.
from the fleets.
The top one.
We're moving away from the fleets. I mean,
This-
we're getting out of leasing.
So,
Yes.
yes,
No
so,
leasing.
so
Yes.
this is the,
Okay, that's what I want to make sure.
this is the fleet that we own.
Right.
Yeah.
What's out in the lot now, what's running and not?
That's-
Yes, okay.
So to borrow one, I'm guessing it's 6%. We have obviously not put this up for proposal yet. We will, once we put it out for proposal, we would come to you with the interest rate once we obtain it. But I felt like 6% was probably a good guess. So to borrow $1,276,000 for 5 years, that would be a scheduled monthly payment of $24,669 per month.
And
And
that
then-
cover how many vehicles,
Oh, okay, so. I'm sorry, okay.
it's okay.
So, we are looking to purchase, 4 dump trailers, an equipment trailer, a lawnmower utility trailer, 4 pickup trucks, a dump truck, a sewer jet truck, and to replace a motor in a leaf truck. The leaf truck is down, and that has to be repaired before fall. The sewer jet, from what I understand, it could go at any time. And if we need it and we don't have it, we're gonna, have a problem. The 4 pickup trucks, how old are they, Scott? That we're replacing?
Mayor Council, a lot of the vehicles that we're trying to replace, are far exceeding 20 years. Some of them are a little older than that. There's one, that just blew up 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, somewhere around there. And that really put our street department down.
Right.
And so they are literally limping along. And so this plan here, that she's, presenting to you guys, is something that I put together based off looking at all of our town fleet. One of the things, and I don't know if she's told you this or not, in the past, but the issue with the enterprise stuff is when we lease those vehicles, we're paying market price. So we're paying what us as general public would buy these vehicles for, and we're financing. If we go out and we, buy these vehicles through, GSA Go Procurement, we're saving a considerable amount of money. And so that's why we're trying to do this all at once. Years ago, Enterprise was the saving grace to help the police department with their aging fleet, but now that's not the case. It's costing a lot more, to stay in partnership with Enterprise than what it's worth in the long run. You're having to pay your accountants to keep up with depreciation values and so on and so forth. This here solves that for us, and I think it'll, help the citizens, kind of get what they're doing in their neighborhoods. Right now, we don't have a spare vehicle. If one more goes, I don't know what we're gonna do.
When you talking about deploying,
I'm sorry.
when you talking about deploying this, starting to acquire
So,
it?
I would like to do the RFP now and get it out.
It's critical, I
It
think.
is critical. And then once we go out, that's actually not on the agenda, to ask permission to go out for the RFP, but
Can we amend
Can-
the
Amend the
agenda?
agenda.
I make a motion that we amend the agenda to, make an accommodation go out for the RFP, that we need to service the town. I'm here.
Second, all in favor of amending the agenda?
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, yes, that doesn't change.
No.
But he just reminded me that the trailers, I feel we can afford to purchase outright.
Separately, okay.
Because it's, I think, $35,000 for all of them.
For 4 trailers,
All the
I'm
trailers
sorry.
are $55,460.
all the same length?
It's a various, combination of trailers. Some of them are 16 foot, some of them are 20 foot, some of them are 14 foot, some of them are 12 foot. All that, is what I've spoken with Nick about and how they're gonna better the services for citizens. So unfortunately, he's not not here, they've got emergency going on with some water and sewer stuff, so he had to leave.
All sourced from the same vendor to get the best price.
That is correct.
Okay, good.
And I could be wrong, if you want me to look into it, I will, but, I don't think a bank would finance us for the vehicles and the trailers on the same loan, so it would be a separate loan. If you want me to look into that, I will, but, you know,
Excuse me, what you said the price was be?
for the trailers, $55,460.
Okay. Thank you.
When we talk about that sewer debt, that has been, discussed many councils ago.
It has to.
And it needs to be, addressed, because we can utilize that, also we can provide services to other towns as well, and they can pay us for that service, right? So it's something we can return on.
And the wind truck.
Yeah, yes.
That thing's a joke.
Okay, so just to make it clear, $55,460, I would recommend we pay cash for those, and with all of the assets that we need to purchase, that would leave a balance of $1,276,000 to go out for RFP, to find financing for the vehicles, the dump truck, the jet.
I don't think that's a ridiculous price for all of that and to bring the fleet up to, some sort of allowable standard. Who wants to sit around, as far as taking care of our employees, who wants to sit around and wonder, when we go to work, what's gonna break down today? Am I gonna be able to do my job? Am I gonna be able to serve the citizens? And I think we need to make a decision rather crossroads to do what we need to do.
So the thing is that next year, we're gonna be standing here probably for 5 more vehicles.
Yes, ma'am.
So then what I would recommend is that, just like you said with the street, sir, that we put the vehicles on a rotating basis, and then once we pay off one loan, it's time. I mean, it's unfortunate, but that's,
At one time, we were on the rotating, same chief before, one chief, council brought them all kind of big deals, you know. Not you, chief.
Say it again now.
Not you, chief, not you, chief, you know, and you, chiefs before you, way, not Chief Chuney, not you, not Chief, other one, we had one chief, the council just bought him and everything. She left, excuse me.
so when we go out for RFP, we'll be asking the banks for financing for a certain amount of years, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I think Murphy got that.
So as soon as we get, those all back, we'll be presenting them to you for decision. The next thing is discuss and approve to submit the RFP for financing for the fire truck. So the fire truck needs to go out, we're hoping tomorrow. The truck is expected to be September, November?
The truck is expected to be completed sometime in September.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Early.
That's early.
Yes, sir. So I don't know if you all follow politics 100% on the federal level. Rev Group pretty much owns every major fire truck manufacturing plant known to man. Federal government has put some pressure on them because fire trucks, the team have one ordered, built, designed, and here at your hometown is getting almost ridiculous. Right now, you're at 4+ years from the day you say you're ready to replace it. So they've stepped in and put a little pressure on the Rev Group, and that's kind of put us along to where we are now, because we originally weren't supposed to be completed until sometime 26, January, February, somewhere in there. So considerably a lot sooner.
Well, I hope they're doing a great job.
So far, from what little bit I can see, from the pictures that they've provided, that, and we'll actually, visually inspect it prior to it coming to Westboro.
Okay. You'll put the same decal on it that's on this one?
That is correct.
Amen.
So if this RFP goes out tomorrow, I think we're giving them 2 weeks to respond. Scott and I will open the RFPs and review them and then present them next month to council to make a determination upon our recommendation as far as who we chose based on interest rates and whatever else they can do for us. And then we'll be looking at, we will not be making annual payments. Scott and I looked over that, and making one annual payment increases the interest that we pay out insane. So for a loan of 8 years, the interest would be $307,822. The interest over a period of 8 years. For 10 years, the interest would be about $53,000 more, just to finance for 2 more years. And the payment only goes up like $2,400. So my recommendation would be 8 years, but we'll see what the bank says. So what we are asking today is for approval to submit the RFP for the financing of the fire truck.
So moved.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Have we covered L&M? I'm just kind of confused. Do we need motions for that?
Oh, yes.
L&M to also be, well, we have not discussed, but consider approval for the drunk trailers. Do we need any motion? So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Now, I want to interject here real quick. So, just so the viewing public understands that what just happened was, so towns and cities usually have a 5-year CIP plan, and it addresses fleet and your facilities over those periods of those years, so you don't have to come up with this large amount of money. Well, that wasn't done here. So now we're having to play catch up, and that's what just happened. So it's imperative that the citizens understand that we're just not taking it lightly. We're gonna look at the best option to save taxpayer dollars, always. While I'm in this seat, I will always do that. Go ahead.
Back to that, is there any way that, did we price a new limb truck, leaf truck?
Did we price?
Yeah.
Not a new limb.
Not new, no.
We just, could we, roughly what would a new one cost? Cause it seemed like to me we're gonna put a new engine.
Oh, okay, yeah, so, yeah, that's, yeah, go ahead.
Cause it stays propane.
But we're not replacing the
Mechanism.
Go ahead, Scott.
So, yeah, member of council, the leaf truck, all right, that's the one that is desperately needed to be repaired, for the fall. That's the one that goes out and picks our leaves up. Sometime last year, I don't know when, that was prior to me getting involved with the fleets, the motor blew up in that truck. We did not know it, our staff didn't know it, we knew we had a technical issue with it, and so therefore, they started investigating it. It had a bunch of check engine codes on it, they started reading those and digging down deep into it. Long story short, it got over our head really quick. So, Mr. James took it to Crook Motor Company, which is a diesel repair shop. They started investigating it, said that we needed to replace some parts, so we replaced some parts. Well, guess what? Replacing those parts didn't fix it. Long story short, we took it to another repair shop that started investigating it, and same thing, we need to replace some parts. Well, we replaced some parts and it didn't fix it. And so they started talking back and forth, the two repair shops, about it, because this is a Cummins engine. I don't know a whole lot about engines, I can just tell you a little bit I know, there's enough to be dangerous. But they started talking back and forth, which is kind of very odd. You don't have two companies talking back and forth. And they got in contact with Cummins and actually, sent them all the information that the truck had, the codes and everything. And basically, it needs a new motor. I can't talk a whole lot on what it's gonna cost. I've heard some roundabout pricing on that. Until we can physically take it to somebody and let them start on it, we're not gonna know. We're just spitballing a price. And so that's what we're doing. We're trying to get the leaf truck repaired, so that'll be taken care of, also. The limb truck, all right, to answer your question on the limb truck.
Is that when we used to pick up garbage too, furniture?
Yes, sir, that is
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah, okay.
So currently, we have 2 limb trucks. One of them is on the hill to be sold. It's wore out, it can't be used no more. We're gonna sell it, it's for sale on Gov Deals, which if any of you all in here like to buy it, it ends on the 6th. It ends on the 6th, which is, I think, Wednesday. But currently, the truck that we currently have is a 2018 Freightliner. I do not have the mileage on it, that's one that I was not able to get. As you can see in your other packets, I have the mileage for everything, that one I just could not get it. But we're also looking at starting a CIP plan in 2027, 2028 to replace that truck so that we'll potentially have a spare. Currently, that truck is down. If you ride through town, you'll see a bunch of limbs and stuff on the side of the road. Our employee that works on that vehicle brought it to the town shop's attention, which brought it to my attention one day last week, or maybe the week before last. Hey, we got something catastrophic going on. All right, so we went over and looked at it, myself and Mr. Griffin, we looked at it, and it's definitely got to be repaired. So we tore it apart last week, and it's off to the repair shop, 2 repair shops this week. One repair shop specializes in the hydraulics, the other one is a structural component repair shop that specializes in the structural components of it. So we're trying to get it fixed. Hopefully, knock on wood, we're hoping we can get it back this week so we can get our feet on the ground and really start picking up some of these limbs around town. It doesn't matter where you go, what neighborhood you're in, they're everywhere. I've been looking at a pile over my neighborhood for probably 2 months now.
Look at the weather.
My question then is that when we're not caught like this again, is that if we have a plan B, that if we subcontract this stuff out, we just find someone, we just contract a limb pickups, get out of that, the business of that is my thinking. It may not be. Also, if there's people that lease, no, not lease, but rent, if we could get some help to get it up now, because when we get this machine back up, if it breaks again halfway through, we're stuck again and it keeps powering. So my thing is that we need to come up with something to get some of this going now. If the truck comes back, great.
So Plan B is some of the trailers that you guys voted on just a few minutes ago. What we're gonna do, some of those trailers are dump trailers. So they got some tall sides, they have a dump body on them. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull those around the neighborhood and actually use another piece of equipment and go ahead and start trying to relocate these limbs to the landfill. So it's gonna take some time, and I don't wanna really speak to Nick because he's not here. But that was what the consensus was. Me and him sat down with Mr. Ross and the finance a couple weeks ago and really tried to hone this thing down on what we specifically needed to, make our citizens.
What do we need to do, Ms. Mason, to expedite this process on getting the dump trailers approved? You sending out?
You already approved it, so we
Yeah.
can actually make a purchase tomorrow for the trailer. I will have to do a budget amendment, but we have the funds in the budget for now that are planned for something else, and then in September, I'll do a budget amendment to cover the total
Well, that's,
purchase.
Council, you said you had to do, you may have to do
I'll have to do an RFP for the vehicles.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
so how long will that take you to
You
do
can get the
it?
RFP out tomorrow, potentially, this week. Let me underpromise
To
here.
these lenders.
This week, and then we would give the financing, institutions 2 weeks to respond. So we will have, a recommendation for that financing and for the fire truck financing for the next meeting.
I say that, Council, we may need to call a special meeting. Mr. Manager, if you're okay with that, to get this ball rolling, where we're not just sitting, so as soon as you get it, Madam Clerk, I think we can call a town meeting, another meeting,
Yeah.
special meeting to just approve this right here. Okay, so let's expedite that.
Yes, sir.
There's lots of bad weather coming, there's gonna be a lot of wind down. They're predicting after the hurricane season, we're going right through the snow.
So really, if
Lots of
we can get
leaves.
Yes, sir.
those trailers, y'all do what y'all do, thank you.
And real quick, Mayor, we did look at other options. We, looked at renting vehicles. It's $9,000 a month. To rent.
They're proud of them.
Okay. All right,
They're proud of them.
that's the end of that. All right, you're up, Mr. Moore.
Yeah, I figured I'd stay up here. So Mayor, Council, switching hats here to the fire department. Just gonna give you guys a little bit of insight. As you have it in your package, you have our monthly report. You can see that we're heavily active, in the community and so on and so forth. We're still doing our smoke alarm canvassing. David told me just a little bit ago that he was out of smoke alarms, so we reached out to our community partners to get some more. So we should have some more, here shortly. And again, just like we've been doing for the past decade, we're gonna hit the ground running, as we get them and continue to put them up. So that's a program that, two predecessors ago started. Chief Firms, started that, many years ago, and so we just continued it. It's a known fact that working smoke alarms do save lives. And so, you know, our mission is to make sure that all our residents here in Nancy County and in Wadesboro have working smoke alarms.
You will go out to the schools, that's in the spring or?
Yes, sir. We'll go out to the schools, starting in October, and start our fire prevention, messages with those students, showing the fire truck, showing what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. Yes, sir. Jim, that was on my list here.
Been around a long time.
That's right, that's right. Also, we've wrapped up our summer splash. We'll go out with the kids, let them see the fire truck, spraying with water, so on and so forth. So we've wrapped that up. The one thing that I did want to bring to your guys' attention is within the next month, hopefully a couple weeks, we're gonna start hydrant testing, all over our fire district. We cover 85 square miles. And so there may be some areas in the community that start to see some muddy water. Just bear with us as we're testing our hydrants. This is something that we're mandated to do to help lower our insurance rating, or maintain our insurance rating. So that's just a little insight there. If you guys, I don't have anything else. If you guys have anything, we'd be more than happy to answer anything that you have.
Scott, I just want to thank you. You wear many hats. I think someone is out at that splash pad at 6:30, 7:30, sweating. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes,
You
sir.
did. Thank you, guys. That's, kids enjoyed it,
That's good.
and that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
So thank you for going beyond the call of duty.
Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Spencer.
Yes, sir. Mayor and council, first of all, I want to address two things before I get started. First thing I want to address, the chief of police do not handle any contracts. I don't deal with contracts, that's the town manager and the attorney. Go ahead and get that out of the way. The second thing I want to address, that Vincent calls to me, and some questions sent to me about the safety of our citizens. And the citizen has a right, they want to know that they are safe. One of the questions was, can we handle calls in Wadesboro? And I just want to tell you about who we got and what's going on. Outside of the two young men we have in BLET, and one female who recently graduated from BLET, in June is assigned to the field training office. Everyone has a minimum of 15 months experience up to 24 years. We give you an average year's experience out of all the new hires, which some of you have previously, some have worked here before. We are better than average of a lot of law enforcement agents. We have 8.8 years of law enforcement experience as the people that we have hired now. So yes, the Wadesboro citizen is, I want to get that out, and tell you a little bit about some of the things we've done since we're getting up to staff. On July 11th, you know, we set up and gave out popsicles at the Wadesboro splash pad. We served over 50 kids, plus some parents that day. I think parents enjoyed it better than the kids. I think we had to go get, I think the chief, you went and got us some more, so we appreciate that. We got Officer Sykes here today. He's standing over there with the major and Sergeant Nolan. I always say community policing mean a lot. So, Mr. Sykes, stopped one night, and the gentleman that just had knee surgery, he didn't know, and he was getting out to try to change the tire. Mr. Sykes came by and actually got down and changed this gentleman's tire, and some people took pictures of it and spread it. So I want to congratulate him tonight. Black For some reason, he don't have a name tag on. Oh Lord, don't tell me that. Okay, it's all right.
Just a certificate of achievement awarded to Officer Jacob Sykes for superior achievement and excellence in community service, presented on the 4th day of August, 2025, by Interim Chief Thaddeus Spencer.
No, sir, you didn't. Also, Major has another plaque that we did. We talked to Mr. Ross, the college at South Piedmont Community College, one of the college that we use the basic law enforcement training. And I'll let him explain to you what this plaque means.
College reached out to us, reached out to the chief last month, in the law enforcement training center where they have a DMT program, continuing education. Every agency that is involved that sends students there, they represent their department on the walls. From what we've been told, they've been reaching out for a while and able to get one. They reached out to Chief Spencer, he came to my office and said, let's make it happen, we want to represent Wadesboro. So they reached out, gave us the plaque information where they ordered it from, and this will be here. That'll be hung in the training center. Our plans are to go tomorrow and present it and have it hung. So we do have a student in there right now that he will see that our police department is representing us.
And another thing, with that plaque hanging up, you can imagine, that's a good looking patch. I'm not gonna take the credit for that patch design, but I love that patch. So if you can remember the old patches, this little white patch, that is a beautiful patch. So you can imagine some of the young cadets that come out, you'd be surprised what that patch would do for someone who wants to come to work away. Yes, means a lot. Also with Officer Sykes, he has made several felony arrests. I mean, we have got guns off the street for the time that we've been here trying to get the police department back to where we can, you know, that the citizen deserves. We have got guns off the street. The young officer that we talked about earlier, she have got a gun off the street and drugs. I think she was more excited about the amount of drugs she got, so that is part of patrol. So we are proud of the police department. Also on July 16th, Mayor, Evan Youth Church had International Day, and Officer Jose went with the young officer, and the kids really enjoyed it. Councilman Benny, you got a chance to meet him, but I'm sad to say that Southern Pinehurst has convinced them to come there. We can't compete to that, the price that Super Pinehurst is making. He's not leaving because of the administration. You know, he's been here for about 2 years, sort of knows, but he's taking a job in Pinehurst. Me and the mayor told him today that he'll come back, he'll be back. Yeah. He'll be back. Pinehurst is a different breed, and I know I shouldn't be saying that, but it's different. I apologize that time for that. On July the 20th, Major Childers and myself had the honor to be guest speakers at the Meadowview Assisted Living place, at the nursing home. I think we enjoyed being the residents there. We really had a great time. We were there to have prayer, and a lot of them got introduced to us, and we let them know that they're not just on the assisted living, that we are their chief and major. So if they need us, no matter what, we're gonna come out and talk to them and visit. And on July the 24th and July the 30th, one of the things that I found as coming back, and in the past, including when I was last chief, we need to start better training. Make sure this, and I think, okay, we got a retired master trooper came in to teach accident investigations. Class to strengthen the knowledge by our officers. So everyone that we hired are going through this class. And I thought about this more because we had a fatality. And the young officer that was on, I think he had experience. How much years experience did he have? 1 year, law, 1 experience. He called me that night. He couldn't really even talk to me because he'd never seen something like that. And I talked him through it, and with the help of the North Carolina Highway Patrol, they was on the phone with me and they stayed with him. So we really appreciate the North Carolina Highway Patrol being there. So at that point, we knew we got to get officers trained to be able to deal with situations like that. Never gonna get easy, but we definitely want them to be prepared. We have made several felon arrests during the month of July, and we're excited to be teaming up with the Anson County Sheriff's Office tomorrow for National Night Out. So if you get a chance, please come out. That's gonna be a big event all over the state of North Carolina. It's National Night Out, and it's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m.
It's always fun.
We'll be giving, Mr. Steve Lear has donated the condiments for us. Major has got a place in Richmond County to donate 250 hot dogs and buns. Who's cooking tomorrow? Is it the chief? The chief is cooking, and we're out and we'll have a booth. And your wife is coming up to be part of our community service, and we really appreciate what she's doing for the police department. That means a lot. And just to give you a staffing for the Wadeville Police Department, we currently have 10 full-time hired patrol officers. We got 1 part-time patrol. We got 2 full-time investigators. We got 1 part-time investigator. And, Detective Watkins is here tonight, and Detective Watkins has over 30 years of law enforcement experience, retired, and come back to help us. Also, he received the award from the governor. So, good asset to the Wadeville Police Department. We want to thank you. And we got 2 in-basic law enforcement training, and they're passing and doing well. Sergeant Nolan actually goes by and check on one of our cadets. Great young man. He has his bachelor's degree in political science. I know you had concerns about keeping good people. Well, that's what I was explaining about training, and then the officer with the 8 years of law enforcement experience. On average, you find guys and ladies that come here at that point of their career, they end up staying and won't stay here and retire. So we definitely got to continue to keep that, being happy here and working for the citizens way, because we got great citizens in the way. So that's one of the reasons I come back, because I know our citizens deserve a police department. I just want everyone to know we deserve a great police department. And I want to personally thank all the men and women for the Wadeville Police Department. That's what they're doing and what we're going through and what we're trying to accomplish. They are going into the vision that I see for the Wadeville Police Department. Again, I definitely want to Wadeville to understand, Major came up with a great idea of what we can do about this community policing, and it's becoming with a task force for community impact. Monroe Police Department had a community impact team. So we can take, with officers that we have, and get back to where we need to be, we can take 2 or 3 officers and make a great community impact team with. I mean, doing a lot of things, just, even if it's just church on Sunday, you know, going out and just being in, we met some security officers today from Oak Hill, and gonna try to work, with them, but, you know, like I explained to them today, if we able to get where we need to be, and see, and everyone come into the vision that I have, that we will have a community impact team, that's all they do, you know. So, we got some good plans, be patient with us. I want the citizens of Waitsboro to know that we are there for them. They can call us anytime. Matter of fact, my phone never stopped ringing from the first time I left. You know, so I enjoy what I'm doing, and I know I'm taking care of the community. That's it. That's all I have on this. Y'all have any questions?
Maybe council members should be involved in the community impact.
Oh, yes, sir. It's great.
Chief, I want to thank you. We, citizens, we have been meeting up at Smith's Funeral Home for over a month now for Coalition for Peace. Since the meeting in Waitsboro, don't want to jinx it, don't want to jinx it, but surrounding the Coalition for Peace, it seems to be working. We've got to continue to get better. We've got to continue to get boots on the ground. Chief, Coalition for Peace with Mr. Gatewood, we're there. And we're not stopping. We're not stopping like we've done before. We had something, we stopped it. We're in it to win it. And violence, regardless of what it is, it's terrible. It's terrible, and we can't sit and continue to let it happen. Citizens can do nothing about it. The chief can't be everywhere. Can't. It's up to the citizens. Thank you, Chief, for that. Thank Councilman Snow been there, Councilman Bennett, Mr. Watkins been there, Mr. Ross, Mr. Wood, some of y'all have been there. Thank you. We're going to try to stop it.
Yes,
Try.
Thank you.
Thank you. By the way, y'all look great in those
I just want to say y'all doing a great job.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Before I get started, I wanted to say something. Mr. Ross on many occasions has told me I shouldn't pay attention, but I do. There seems to be chatter about the town that there's no transparency from my office, and that maybe we need it more. So I don't know who these people are, and why they're saying it, because I thought I was coming up here every month being very transparent and being very informative. I don't know what was being presented to you in the past on the financial status of the town. But if I'm failing in some way, please come and see me, and, you know, I've asked before to share with me what you would like me to say and what you would like me to present. But, I just wanted to say that. Anyway, so you received the summary of the financial reports. I included the budget versus actuals as of June 30th. Understand, as I presented last year, around this time, that those figures are gonna change because we're in the middle of the audit. The audit firm will be doing lots of journal entries, moving things, either because of error or things that just have to get done at the end of the year that she handles. So you will get the final presentation of year ending 24-25 when the audit firm presents the annual financial report. So for the general fund, the key highlights are we collected $5.4 million down from 7.2 million at the same time last year. But last year's figures, I've mentioned over the past few months, include that one-time $1.5 million transfer from ARPA to get the town out of the red. Expenditures were 5.5 million year-to-date compared to 6.3 million by this time last year. The operating deficit, current expenditures exceeded revenue by approximately $117,000, and that represents a substantial improvement from last year's adjusted balance of $836,847, which would have been a negative $670,622 deficit had it not been for the ARPA funds. For water sewer, revenue collected was 3.3 million, which is 129,000 over budgeted projections. For expenditures, the water department expended 1.5 million, sewer department expended 1.2 million, and revenue exceeded expenditures by 550,000. Cash and investments, total cash and investment holdings stand at 8.3 million, marking an increase from July 1 of last year, when Mr. Ross and I started, of $732,200 more. That growth is attributed to higher interest earnings and strategic transfers of idle funds from the operating accounts to interest-bearing investments. And then on the second, oh no. Did I give you all the page 3?
I've got the, cash investments where they are.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We have nothing in, we're already in the money market of P&C, that's good.
Okay, well, I didn't put myself a copy, I apologize. So, does anyone have any questions?
I want to interject as well, just real quick. So you mentioned a couple of times, Mrs. Mason, about the ARPA funds, and for the viewing public, that is the American Rescue plan from the federal government. Those funds were the interim town manager used those funds for revenue replacement. If he had not done that, I know there's a lot of chatter out there in the community that folks keep saying Wadesboro was broke. If they had not done that, Wadesboro would be in absolute whole lot of trouble, right? So we have done what we are charged to do, is be fiscally responsible to bring Wadesboro back to where it needs to be, right? And we're on the right track, right? But make no mistake about it, if those funds were not there, Wadesboro would not, it would be detriment to this community. I can promise you that. So she mentioned that twice. I heard it twice in her report. So let's make that very clear. There's a lot of misinformation out there saying that, they keep saying that we were open. Well, again, those funds were there and we used the revenue replacement. And that's why we are where we are today. And we're going to continue to be strictly responsible for the citizens and taxpayers.
I have one question. The CD that you already hear,
Yes,
GR
sir.
account 10-113-00, is that just in one instrument or is that a variety? Is that just in one?
That's just one.
Okay, one.
What's the term on it?
Because the interest rates have been so volatile, and knowing that the interest
Right.
rates would go up a little bit for investments, we're only doing it for 6 months.
Good, okay. That's why my question was going to be.
And, also, I actually didn't even let Mr. Ross know this. On Thursday at 2 o'clock, a representative from North Carolina Cash Management, where all our investments are, except for that CD, is coming to see me at 2 o'clock. He comes by every 6 months to let us know where we are. He said the Federal Reserve made some changes.
Yeah.
I followed that kind of stuff, but I don't know what he's talking about. Hopefully it's to our advantage, but I can report that back to you next month when we get together again. But hopefully it's good news.
Yeah, I met with him like 4 or 5 months ago myself.
Right.
So he comes back periodically. But when we got here, last year, we had $2 million sitting idly.
No, we had 4 million.
$4 million. $4 million.
Sitting in a checking account.
Sitting check account.
Making no interest.
That's what we were screaming and wrote, but then that's when Mr. Harrell said that offer funds somewhere that we didn't know anything about.
Correct. So Mr. Harrell identified those funds and used them appropriately. So we would not be.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we were at a point anywhere by state statute that we were supposed to have a finance director, I believe. We were supposed to have some, we were supposed to have a
That's
person
correct.
in your office, and we didn't. And when all this started coming down the pike, I recommended a forensic audit. I wanted to know what the heck was going on, because there was so much going on. We're broke, $8 million is missing, somebody's embezzled. In fact, there were people around here that helped perpetuate that. And I said, you know, a forensic audit, let's see what is going on. Bring in the state, bring in the feds, bring in whomever you want to, and let's get the answers. That didn't happen. So we're in a spot now where we're making money, we're doing what we need to do. Let the rest of it just kind of,
Well, I want to say.
we weren't in compliance with the
that
state to begin with.
Though J.B. Watson isn't necessarily a forensic auditor, they are certainly qualified to see and find any shenanigans that may have been going on. I haven't seen anything, but I am so not a CPA. But what Mr. Austin and I did discover that there were a couple of very large purchases made the year before last, cash, that certainly did damage. So,
For the past, 2-3 years, I've been the council contact for the audit, answering the questions, following up, and gathering information with Denise. And I'd spoken with her about a forensic audit with David, or after that administration, and while Steve Harrell was here, because everything Kai did, I didn't really like. So I appreciate what you're doing, I appreciate what Daniil does, and let's just keep going in the right direction. We were out of compliance with the state of North Carolina already, but Dave Edwards in here. None of us knew it until Steve Harrell came in here. And I kind of fault a lot of people with that, including myself. But
so you agree that a finance officer is necessary in this town?
it's by state statute.
I just wanted to hear. A lot of people don't seem to think I do, so.
I understand what he's saying, but we still have to, you still have to look back and see what really happened. So you just can't just move on, and just, you got to see what happened, so you won't fall in the same trap.
We don't, but the state statute tells us we have to do that, then we have to do that.
But you don't want to fall in the same situation.
Whether they want you here or
Thank you.
Mr. Ross?
I just want to thank our 9 students that have been with us for the last several weeks. Kenny's one of them. They're doing a fantastic job all over the county. They're just not working for us, they're working for Anson County and other locations. So we've been partnering with a lot of different agencies to place these young folks, and they're getting some valuable experience. And I think they had a couple days ago, or last week, they went to a camp and they learned about financial literacy. As a matter of fact, Mr. Sam is here. Sam, stand up and tell them a little bit about what you've been doing with our kids and how we work with North Carolina Cooperative Extension. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I am Sam. How y'all doing?
Hi, Sam.
I'm a 4-H agent, so working with the Anson Extension office. So we did have our senior 4-H camp, and the premise was we're doing some financial literacy stuff. So they're working, making a little money. So we thought it would be a good idea to bring them in so they learn about, tax withholding. They learn about, how education affects their income. So a lot of good information. I think they had a good job. They did a phenomenal job. This is a great group y'all have, and I have a lot of confidence in them going forward. But yeah, it was just a perfect situation, and we're glad to have them and host them out at our office, and hopefully we get to do this again.
Thank you, sir. It was a pleasure working with you.
Yep.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Council, start down here with you, Ms. Casey, any comments?
I had a lot of kids come back that, spoke highly of you over this last week. Y'all did a lot of, field trips. Thank you for taking the time out with them and sharing with them what life is all about. Thank y'all, citizens for coming in and being, sensible. Thank y'all, the ones that all hit the head of the, different departments. Thank you for the great job. The more y'all do, the less we have to do. We just approve, let's get it done. Thank you, board, thank the board for, working together and not having any confusion. I really appreciate it.
Councilman.
I just think everybody just doing what's the job from the police force all the way down and I think we can keep working like this, but we're working together, we're trying to get things done. I thank you, Mr. Wiley, because you're doing a lot, and we appreciate what you're doing. We appreciate your grant that you got for us, and we appreciate the thing you try to get done in the county that had not been done before. So we wanna thank you for it. I thank all the council committee for all for being on one accord, and I know that we can make things happen in Astor County if we stick together. Thank you, Larry.
Mr. Long?
First of all, Hanson County Homes Authority is still selling peanuts. So come buy some. We got people to put in homes. I got a letter here that was given to me tonight, or a brochure, the NC League of Municipalities. And we don't have internet in here, so I don't know how much these cost, but I think in maybe a future budget, there should be some money put aside for council training. There's some really good stuff here for the new kids coming on board that'll be elected in November if they are new. This is good stuff, and this makes you a better leader, a better budget person, a better citizen. Fundamentals for elected office, local government budgeting workshop. These are the types of courses that people that sit in these seats need to take. It's all fine and good to say, I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring because I think I can make a difference. This makes a difference, that in your experience. So I really think that in the future budget, some allocations should be made so that council members can take advantage of serving their community.
And they also have some online, I give them my email, where they send them to you, where you can log in and do stuff on my email.
Yeah, let's go on SOG. Thank you.
Only thing I got is, you not talk. YMCA. All right. That's it.
I have nothing. Need a motion to go in closed session.
I make a motion that we're gonna go
So there'll be two closed sessions. One will be pursuant to GS 143-318-11A6 to consider the qualifications, competence, performance, conditions of employment of a public officer or employee. And the second will be 143-318-11A3, which is attorney client consultation. We need to talk to you about a particular contract.
Need a motion.
I make a motion to go close.
All in favor? No, in closed session.
You all right? You all right?
Nice to meet you. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, another pass it down. Don't wait for face time, so I'm good.
Thank you.